everybody to the Joy of Cooking with Michelle. It's so good to see you this evening. I'm really excited about this recipe. It's June, it's salad month. I've always wanted to make tabbouleh salad, and that's what we're doing today. So very unique. It took a little bit of preparation with all the chopping. The salad dressing is all homemade, and this is a bit of a modern version because instead of having bulgur, we are going to be using quinoa, which is fantastic because quinoa is a whole grain, but also it's a complete protein. It's the only grain that's a complete protein. So when you eat this, you have your grain and your protein and your vegetables. So what we've got to start with is to make the salad dressing. First of all, we're going to start off with that. We have half a cup of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and I've used a fantastic olive oil from Italy that I got given to me at Christmas time, so I'm very grateful for that. There's 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and also 1 finely minced garlic. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to add all that with a little bit of salt and pepper to make our salad dressing. And then when we're building the salad, what we're doing is we're essentially using these 5 ingredients. So it's very simple, but so flavorful. And this is a very traditional Middle Eastern dish that you are going to enjoy so much. I've used a whole 1 large chopped up English cucumber. I've used 2 good size Romano, like Italian tomatoes, the ones that are more oblong versus round. You'll see them in the grocery store. And also 2 green onions, finely chopped. It's the spices, the herbs in here that really make a difference. And remember that the herbs are fresh and they are really high in antioxidants. So this is the exciting part. I knew that there was a lot of parsley in here, and I started with a huge clump of the parsley. The more and more finely chopped I got it, the more I realized how much you really use to get this amount. There's 2/3 of a cup of finely chopped parsley, and you use the flat parsley, not the curly parsley, the flat. So that's an important part of the recipe. And a 1/2 a cup of finely chopped mint. So that's what you're looking for, the volume in the end to be 1/2 a cup once it's chopped. I think this is why I love this exceptional recipe. I couldn't really figure out why it tasted so amazing, and now I recognize that it's a combination of the fresh vegetables and the mint. So I'm really excited. So let's get started and do this. What I'm going to do to start with is I'm going to put the ingredients together, and I put this in a container that I can shake up so that I'm not whisking it and it's not really loud. So I put the 1/2 a cup of the extra virgin olive oil in a container with a lid. You could use anything, a jar. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the 2 tablespoons of the lemon juice and the finely minced, you just use 1 clove of garlic because you want the taste to be not overly distinct, but flavorful, but not really super garlicky. I never would have guessed even that garlic was in this recipe, but even traditionally, it's part of this recipe. So the only part we've changed of this recipe is that we use 1 cup of cooked quinoa versus the bulgar. So that's a bit of an update. What I did earlier today was I cooked the quinoa and I used the red and the white combination of the quinoa, and I cooked it and I took 1 cup out of the pot and I cooled it. So that's also another good tip, because you want the ingredients to be cold. Now, getting back to the dressing, what we do is we add just a pinch of salt, sea salt, Himalayan sea salt, just to taste, and a little bit of ground pepper. So you don't have to go crazy with that, because of course you want everybody to enjoy it, and they can always add the salt and pepper at the table to their liking. So here we go. We have the salad dressing here. I'm going to put this lid on really tight so that I can shake it up. I'm going to wait until I have all the ingredients in a bowl, and then I'm going to shake it up and put it on top of the salad. So very simply, I have this bowl. I'm pretty sure all the ingredients are going to fit in this bowl. I had eyed up a smaller bowl, a glass bowl, so that we could see it as we were going along. But I very quickly realized that getting all the ingredients together, it was going to take up more room. So I'm just going to add the cucumber. And what I did was, with the cucumber, to make it small like this, you can see by the size that I've cut it here. So I cut the cucumber in half lengthwise, and then I took each half and cut that in half. So it was quartered, and then I sliced it. There's a lot of cucumber in here. And tomatoes. Those Italian Roma tomatoes are really the best to use because they have less seeds in them. Now I'm going to give this a good mix to start with, and then you can also use scallions. So some recipes have 2 scallions finely chopped, and some recipes that I've seen had 2 green onions. Now, I'm a huge fan of green onions, like you probably already know from watching my other shows, because I think green onions are so brilliant. They make everything taste so fresh, like the garden. And this is so timely because you're going to see that the herbs, my parsley is coming up in my garden already. It's a little early for cucumbers and tomatoes, but we can get cucumbers and tomatoes from Ontario. A lot of them are still greenhouse because it's going to take a while. Only a few more weeks for the cucumbers. The tomatoes come a little later, of course. Now, the quinoa, 1 cup, is a very key ingredient in this recipe. And I think you're going to absolutely love this. Again, I'm going to give this a really nice toss. I've seen this recipe made before with chickpeas, but I think it was because at the deli when they made it, they took a few liberties. So it's traditionally not made with chickpeas. Oh, so good. Now, it is going to be the fresh parsley. The parsley is really, when I think about tabbouleh, I think of it primarily as being a parsley salad. But of course, there's more to it than parsley, as you can see. But there's a huge amount of parsley, 2/3 of a cup chopped. That's the way it's supposed to be. What I'm going to do when I'm finished is I'm going to put a picture of the salad, and I'm going to put the complete recipe separate so that you have it and you can follow along. And you don't have to listen to the whole cooking show all over again to get the ingredients and the proportions. But I do like it when you listen to the cooking show again, of course. There we go. There's a lot of green in this because of the chopped up herbs. Oh, this is amazing. I can't wait to dig in. Now, for the salad dressing, I'll give it a bit of a shake. And you use the whole container. It's really only half a cup of oil, so don't be afraid. It's lovely. And it's also something that you can eat for a day or two afterwards. There we go. I imagine the flavors blend even more after a day. So tomorrow it'll be just as lovely, I'm sure. Oh, so amazing. I love that we're having different salads. These aren't your typical salads, you have to admit. Next week on Monday, I'm going to do another salad for sure. I haven't decided which one to do, but if you do have a suggestion, put it in the comments, and maybe I'll make the one that you're going to suggest for me. Okay. I know this time of year we're all really super busy, and some of these recipes are quicker to make than others. This one has a lot of chopping. The other thing is that you can, when you're, say, even chopping up the herbs, what you can do to make it simple, or more simple, is you could put it in your mini food chopper or your food processor, because you really want it finely chopped anyways. So that will help cut down on the time. Okay, now let me show you up close what this looks like. There you go. I'll hold it to the camera so that you can see. You see how green it is? It smells amazing. So don't be afraid, because there's a lot of cut up herbs in it, and that's what it's supposed to look like. Delicious. Okay, let me give a taste. Delicious. It's the mint and the parsley that really make this. 100%. Highly recommend this recipe. Tabbouleh. You'll be in love with it. It's very refreshing. A meal of its own for lunch, and a really fantastic side. So I hope you've enjoyed this recipe. I look forward to seeing you again next Monday. I hope you have a nice evening. Bye everybody. Thank you for joining.